right. Let's see how to embed this. That's not the right date. Live events. There we go. Alright, I don't want to watch it, but I want to post this over on my Patreon page so people know. So I'm doing that real quick. If anyone is joining right now, I'm going to adding this to my Patreon page, even though they could watch it anywhere. Oh, photo time-lapse editing. If you guys will find out, I can't type. Oops. Let's see here. Let's live stream, live editing, and we're going to select. There we go. And enjoy all the crap on my computer crashing on me right now when I try to have too much up. And I'm going to bring up the chat on my phone so I can do this and then read any comments you guys have. If my phone will cooperate. Apparently if I'm too far away, it's just not going to show me anything. So let's see here. And all right, there we go. Okay. I need the sound muted. I wonder if I pause it, if I will still see comments. Hey, Adriano and everybody. I am making sure that the comments will roll through. Hey, Kathy. Looks like the comments are showing up. Just so you guys know, I have my kids at here today, so the babysitter we thought was coming is not. So we are going to see how this goes with lots of craziness in the background. I might close the door. Are you guys going to be good? Woody! I asked if they're going to be good, and no. If anything is crazy, if you guys let me know if the sound is bad. This is stuff from last year. So Brett wants to rage. My buddy Brett. So I need to probably put something up. Let's see here. This is a good trial run to see how this works. What I can do is slide comments over to here. Let's see here. That's not really going to work. So I need to, because my phone keeps trying to turn off, so I can't monitor the comments because it's just sitting there going dim, I guess. It's too bad. All right, so mostly this is going to be me organizing stuff from yesterday a little bit and going through some LR time-lapse stuff. So I've been gone chasing for 2 months almost, and came back, and every time I come back I'm dumping my files that I backed up on the road. Hey Jennifer from Toronto and Alicia. So every time I come back I dump whatever I can onto my hard drive to back it up, and it's really great that Photoshop has just decided to crash on me twice this morning, and I don't even think it's up. So I back up stuff on the road, dump it on my hard drive, and then I start organizing into a time-lapse clip. So all the stuff on the left here from 2019 is all the time lapses that I've shot this year, and then down here is stuff I have yet to organize. These four are ones that I just dumped on my hard drive last night when I got home. So that's kind of like, this is kind of my process of just going through this stuff. I also have LR time-lapse here, where while I'm organizing stuff and moving files, I'm going to be sitting here and editing stuff like this. This is a time-lapse from the Imperial Day, and so this is a long kind of time-lapse running, and I may or may not use this one later, but this is one that I'm going to be editing while I move files around. So a lot of these also are me trying to decide if I'm going to keep them. So, you know, here's a day where, you know, it started off kind of crappy. In fact, actually, it was a tornado-warned storm near Springfield, and here's where I have a lot of fun, where I'm like, oh, I have some great structure here, and and I don't know how well it'll translate because it doesn't look good for me either, but I try to scroll through these to kind of see, you know, what they're doing, even in crappy low res. So, and sometimes it comes up, like right there, it's good, but I don't remember. I think I might have moved my camera because the structure was right over here. And so somewhere along the lines here, oh, there's a nice drone too. Thanks, Nat Geo guys. So I realized at some point that the structure is a little bit more to the right, and I think I moved my camera one more time. And so we'll see, unless that's what this was. Trying to see if I did it already. Oh yeah, so look, so this is where I actually moved it. And I guess I already organized this one. So, so then I'm just kind of going through and figuring out what else from this day I want to mess with. And this is not the same day, so I don't know why this is in this folder. I got some extra stuff in here. So, and some 50mm shots and all kinds of stuff that a lot of this stuff is probably gonna get deleted. In fact, I'm not real excited about looking at this day right now because it's a little irritating. Let's see what this did. So here's a little lightning one, but I don't know if this one's gonna be worth it either, because I don't think it lasts very long. So we're gonna have to figure that one out if I'm gonna keep it. What's up, guys? France, Germany, you guys are awesome. Thanks for subscribing. I've never been so excited. I think we're about to hit 32,000 subscribers or something like that. Where are we at? I should have all kinds of cool stuff where my count is up somewhere. Yeah, we're about to hit 32,000 subscribers here, maybe today, so that's really cool. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to try to find some time lapses that I actually like from the last couple weeks. Here on the 11th, all right? So one of these I really like because this was a good day. So I kind of scroll through to see if I make any changes to where it started. Sometimes I move it and it jerks around and I got to fix it. Or pick up the right one. So you can see here that the start of the time lapse I was aimed one way and then I kind of repositioned. I also look at my time code because I'm pretty sure I was shooting like every couple seconds. It looks like I did every 2 seconds. So if I scroll through, I see where I started. This is the first one, so I'm going to scroll down until I find the end of this one. And then we're going to start creating stuff for this day, which is 2009's June 11th. And I'm going to call it, I usually call this stuff like updraft if it's something like that. And now I'm going to try to figure out where I shot it. And I kind of vaguely remember. It was in Oklahoma. This is what I do. I try to keep everything kind of organized and close. So we were It was near Spearville, if I recall. So I'm going to call it the Spearville updraft. Updraft 11 millimeters, and I put and I say it's 8K because everything's 8K. So now it's going to create this folder over here, and everything is going to be organized there. And so then I'm going to go to the other folder. Sometimes when I'm moving files around and saving stuff, Lightroom starts becoming silly. Now I remember time-lapse in this guy, but I believe I moved it fairly quick because it became cooler looking the other direction. And let's see, right around, yeah, you can see right around here, I think, yeah, right there I moved it. So you can see in the middle, moved it, restarted. And this one's pretty cool because it actually starts looking a little bit like a flying saucer. You can kind of see where it starts looking pretty cool. So I'm going to scroll down to the end of that one. And if I recall, again, this was near Kinsley. So going to create a folder, 2009-0611, Kinsley structure, 11mm K. I wish my phone would show me the comments and not die out on me. Hide that one. You're not going to spam me with your YouTube links. So these lenses, so these time lapses, at least I'm doing right now, are all shot with Canon 11 to 24 millimeter, which is very wide. So that's why I'm putting like 11 millimeter as a description on these. And it's super wide angle lens, and it helps get these storms. I'm not always at 11 though. There's a lot of times I'm at like 12 to whatever, 12, 14. It doesn't necessarily have to be that wide. So that one's going. Those are moving now. You can see up here I've got some progress, so I got to go do something else. And one thing I might do in the meantime, which is kind of multitask, is this time lapse that I loaded last night into LR time lapse has some jumps here. And am I saying 2009? No, these are all 2019, so everything is from this past spring, just a little bit ago. Oh, I love Tucson. Putnam. I'm pretty sure I didn't get Putnam. I'm not sure. I don't know that if that was a tornado, Kathy. I definitely didn't. So, Henry, I usually will unlist these videos on here, but they will be available on the Patreon page. I don't want you to feel like you have to go support me on there because I try not to ask everybody for money, but I am trying to get that page going. So everything is over there. You'll be able to watch any of these unlisted videos there later. My problem is I like to show this behind the scenes stuff for subscribers and people who support me, but I don't necessarily want it up forever for everybody to see for free. Kind of debating that. It's kind of a tough thing. So at least for me to kind of figure out. So Henry, that's kind of the deal there. So this one just loaded. This was a great night. Hey Kathy, remind me the Putnam day because I'm pretty sure that was a tornado I missed or something that I missed. It could have been, it might have been actually on the day I was up in Nebraska, but I'm not sure. So this one was really good. I'm trying to make sure I didn't, June 15th. Yeah, so this is June 15th right here. And I can't remember. Oh, yeah, this is stuff from that day. Yeah, I was there, Kathy, but I didn't get... Hey, I'm sorry, the Tucson guy. I'm not really going to put links in the comments and all that. So, yeah, so Kathy, this is a view. Oh, wow, look at that. I didn't even know I got a great lightning bolt on that. So this was... This is a supercell by Putnam before it dropped the tornado, but you can kind of see, I actually have the brief tornado in here somewhere. I don't know Let me see if it'll show up, because I have a file here. I don't remember if it's this one or not, but it's probably gonna be hard to find. But this one does actually have a little bit of. I wish I was a little closer, but you know, you do what you do. So this was with the 50, and then this was with the wide angle of that storm as well. So, but we were a little further away. We had to kind of stop out of the rain to get the time lapse done. We had a lot of people with us. In fact, you can. I'm so wide here, you can see other cameras down here. So we'll see how that goes. I do really like. I really like one I got at night of this one, and I don't think it's moved over here. So you just reminded me, because I don't think. Yeah, this is all Canon. So. You see these shots down the road. So on 615, if I go up to my actual real, like, still images, let's see. This is of that day. So you can see, I think my tornado shot is in here. Well, I don't know where it is. But some good lightning bolts still to edit and post at some point. And we had... thought we saw a tornado in there, but it was really tough to see. We didn't get it in the perfect place. So this is a time lapse I really like right here. This is with the Sony right down the road, and so I'm actually going to let's see here. How fast is that moving? Yeah. So this one is one's actually gonna be really fun. I think, you know, you never know how these things look, but but it was right down the middle of the road. And actually had some pretty decent structure on it, and I got 148 frames, which is not too bad. So I'm going to go down here to 615. I'm going to create, and so this is with the Sony. So I've been doing some stuff with the Sony as well, not completely with the Canons only, but that's mostly at night. So this was, let's see, since Kathy helped me out, Putnam. So that's where the tornado was, and we were actually south of Thomas. So that's where the first tornado went, and then that supercell went straight down here, and so we were right around, I'm going to say this road. So this is the road that we're looking down right here, and the supercell was right here. So maybe I'll call it Custer City soup, and it was 14 millimeters. I don't think it's 8K, but I think it's 6K. But this is with the Sony, so we're gonna move that over here. And this one's kind of interesting because I left it in auto white balance, and the Sony really did some funky stuff. I mean, we've got, you know, a shot here where the white balance is 3900 minus 16, and the next shot it's. And this isn't a problem, this is just something you edit, but it's really weird how the white balance on the Sony got crazy. Up to 5500 minus 18, like it did some funky stuff. Usually the Canons, I lock the white balance, so I don't worry about it. But the Sony I usually use for stills, so... my girlfriend... Oh, yeah, Kathy, that'd be tough with a GoPro on this because it's so wide, you know? So anyway, here's kind of the scrolling through this a little bit. It's really cool. I mean, you can see some just awesome supercell structure here. If this had been the daytime, it'd be really good. And here's where the tornado might have been, where it touched down at some point. It might have been up after this, but the inflow here looks real cool. So this is probably a really cool nighttime time lapse, like right down the road, with good lightning flashing everywhere. Look at all the. Looks like someone bumped my tripod. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it stinks. It moved. Well, that's okay. It's nighttime. It'll be hard to see. But the lightning flashing is pretty cool. So, oh, good. Babysitter can come early. Hey, Kamikaze, thank you. So anyway, so that's that one. And I'm not like, I don't know, you know, if how thrilled I am with these. So that part is actually pretty cool. It looks like I moved it and switched. Right there, I switched to... Right here, I switched to like every second, I think. So, let's see here. I want to make sure I don't miss any frames. Let's see. All right. And there we go. So it's not bad structure. It's just the contrast is kind of rough at that spot. And so, you know, I don't know how much I'm going to use this, but we're going to. So this was with 50 millimeter. And so I'm going to call it Putnam Soup 50 millimeter 8K. And we'll drag that over there. The wide angle one, I'm still not sure about if I'm even going to use these because I have a lot of good footage from the last couple of years. And thanks, Aman. I appreciate that. I have a lot of good footage from the last couple of years. And so this one, I don't know how great of contrast there is on this, you know? That's the tough part. You know, it looks cool, like there's lightning flashing, but the contrast here is real low. But it could be interesting, so I'll probably do that. I'll probably, you know, I'm definitely going to edit it and all that, so, and render it, but that's the fact that we actually use it later. That's another story. So, so this is how far back I am, you know, in editing. So far this year I've edited up to May 27th, and I'm here working on or just organizing stuff from middle of June still, and I haven't even edited all the stuff from the Imperial Day, which was a great day. And that's why hey, I am Ruse. I might make this one available, but I'm trying to unlist it, but it'll be available on my Patreon page, which is there's a link in there. And I don't want you to feel like you have to subscribe for that, but I'm trying to you know, this is kind of a trial today to see how it goes. I'm not sure, you know, the Patreon page is really growing kind of slow, but it's been great. I really love everybody there, and I'd like to, you know, get some more people over there and then have, you know, all these cool comments all the time. I really like interacting with people. It's really fun. So so I'm just kind of debating how I'm going to do it. You know, YouTube is a little bit tough for revenue, and so that's my big debate on all this is the amount of monthly revenue on YouTube doesn't compare to even. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that, man. Yeah, so it'll be available there. It's linked there now, so you should be able to get to it at any time. And so, you know, the amount of revenue and kind of the cool, like, exclusive kind of content I can do on Patreon is a little bit more fun for me, and a little more something I want to do for people that really support me. So, so this week I'm going to do a couple of these live on YouTube so I can get people to kind of see them. But then I think in the future I'll be just doing these on Patreon only because, you know, I know a lot of people want to, you know, learn some of the stuff I do, and I don't necessarily want all of it out there just completely for free. I'm still unsure about that. I like to do some stuff for free, and but other stuff, like even going in depth on like editing time lapse and stuff, I kind of want it to be for people that really want to, you know, support me in that. So I'm still learning and kind of debating how I want to do it. But yeah, so if you subscribe to the Patreon page, you'll be able to get this stuff. So so I think we're gonna go do this wide one here while I'm sitting here. So this is LR time lapse, and this is kind of the timeline of this time lapse here in LR, and how it'll show us like a low res preview of it. It's gonna show me some jumps here. These little jumps right here are when I change my shutter speed, and the rest of these little jumps are just light changes. So I'm going to do some keyframes here, and I'll show you what that means in a little bit, but I'm going to do like 5 keyframes. And keyframes are when you make changes to like your video timeline where you can make adjustments. So it'll kind of like between this keyframe and this keyframe, you can make changes and it'll ramp it and balance it and all that. When I transfer images to the video editor, well, I create ProRes files, and then I bring it into Premiere Pro. So this is kind of the timeline of my the next film I'm working on, and so all these little purple all these purple clips are ProRes files in here. So here's all the time-lapse sequences, etc. So I might show you guys a sneak of that if you stay around long enough. I don't want to show this stuff to everybody, but I'm pretty excited for the music we picked out. I'm hoping that you guys can hear the music. I think it comes through, but it's going to be really cool. I like this part. Anyway, I'm really want to get through editing all these clips so I can actually sit and work on this thing. I've never been more excited to work on something. So we did our keyframes. We're gonna do the Holy Grail thing here, which it's going to create adjustments on all these frames to balance it all out. And then when I hit a save button, it goes into metadata files. So here in Lightroom, it saved the metadata files, and now I'm going to read these changes, and it looks like it made everything too dark, which is sad. So I'm going to stop and try to rotate a little bit more. Resave it. Now we will bring it in here again. It's a little better. So now all I'm doing is editing keyframes. And I have a little preset here, but nighttime, oh good. This is my horrible dust spot from the day. The best day, one of the best days of the year, and I had a dust spot. I have to fix that on everything, which I'm super bummed about. So we are going to make some adjustments here. I don't really want to bring up that many shadows. I think my horizon's a little crooked. So I had a little preset I hit at the beginning over here, and this kind of gives me some default stuff. And there's my daughter Lila watching. Hey Lila. I need to adjust. The hard part about some of this, especially this time lapse right here, is the light in the sky and how blue it was, and getting the white balance right. So I feel like if I was like this, the clouds look more realistic. No, that's horrible. If I do this too much, it ends up looking green. And so this has been the tough part with these blue hour kind of storms. Are not necessarily, they're getting the color right. See, that looks right to me, but then it gets really purple. So I'm gonna fix. I don't usually fix dust spots this way, but since it's nighttime, I don't think people will notice any kind of weirdness going on there. So I'm gonna do this. It's not how I usually fix dust spots. So if I kind of got something right, I'm going to sync these keyframes, and then I can make adjustments. So like on this one, I can increase the brightness, the exposure up. What I can also start doing is maybe adding a tad of noise reduction if it starts getting noisy, because the Canon, when I start up in the exposure, can get kind of noisy. Maybe a little more noise reduction on this one. I'm going to up the exposure just a little bit, which I didn't see. There we go. I'm going to go to the next one. Wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, too high. A little more noise reduction just in case. Man, that's pretty awesome looking. Wow. I haven't even barely looked at these, so you guys get to kind of see them as I do a little bit. I think it looks pretty cool. So I've kind of made some adjustments with these, and so what I do is I save it back down to LR time-lapse. So what you'll notice is, I have, exposure of plus 0.1 on that frame, and this one is 0.9. So what LR time-lapse is going to do for me is it's going to take all these, and it's going to look at changes I've made. So here you can see on this yellow is where I've made exposure changes, and it's going to take all these right, and then if I do an auto transition, it's gonna balance all this out. So right now I'm going to have a nice smooth yellow curve, and so it's taken all these exposures. You can see here, this exposure column, it's taking these exposures and ramping them up to like the 3rd decimal, which means it's going to be a nice smooth transition, which is pretty cool. So once I'm done with that, I save it back, and that's pretty much it. So we kind of just edited one of these. Let's go back to here, and I'm going to... You can see this little arrow that pops up on all these. Well, they will at some point, and it says that means there's changes to the metadata on file. So reading it back in, and so all of these will change. I mark it with a red to know that this one is done, completely edited, and so it's going to read all these changes that we did in LR time-lapse and start populating this. And then once that's doing that, I click here to the next one, and this is what I freaking do. So this is a long, not longer, it's 720 frames. So this is going to sit here and load. This is reading, and then I'm going to go back here and possibly keep working on this stuff. I'm trying to find a really good day. Oh, I really like this day. This was a very marginal day, but I will tell you what, that this downburst was really cool, and I'm pretty, yeah, so I moved it right there. This downburst got very awesome, and it wasn't like Arizona, but because we don't get usually, but we can have stuff like that, but it was just a dumping of hail in one place for a while over this beautiful wheat field, and really pretty. And it was a day that we just were driving back to Denver and thought we'd chase a little bit, and kind of got something fun. So look at that. Let me, I just got to get to the end. I think I shot way too many frames because it just wasn't moving, you know? And that's the great stuff. Well, you run out of pictures, though. You run out of memory card. Yeah, and I think it looks kind of dumpy after this, so I don't really know if I want to do the whole thing. But so this was north of, let's see. If I recall, we were near Colby, and it was near Atwood. So Atwood, hail, core, 11mm 8K. I gotta figure out how to keep the comments up so I read them. Chris, I'm not editing every frame. I'm editing keyframes, but in Lightroom it syncs it all. If I had to edit every frame, that would be problematic. So I'm not doing that. But I'm editing keyframes of a whole sequence, and then it kind of syncs everything for me, if that makes sense. So let's see what here. This one I did not name correctly. Just realized there's no 60. This one had a really good. Sometimes when you move files, it doesn't. Lightroom is slow. So this is how long it's taken to load this sequence. This is a Hollyoak one. I don't know if I'm gonna even use this one, but you gotta load it and you gotta try it. This was a great day. If you can see all the clips I have from this day, it's pretty insane. From one storm chase, how many time-lapse clips I got. That's the dream right there. So I've got some more stuff from this day. I don't know if I want to focus on them right now because I don't know if I'm going to use it, but it actually looks really cool in here, so I probably will. But I'm real excited about the cold water one. I don't know if it's on this or not. Or the next card. Must be the next one. I got my wife texted me, my friends texted me. Alright, so this cold water storm is really cool. Not this one. This one. Oh. This is the day when the storms were not supposed to be surface based, and they were all high based. And then I sync all the frames at once as long as I don't override any of the changes. So I'm going to turn off notifications right now because my friends are talking about weird stuff. So this was a storm that suddenly in front of us instantly went like surface based. You can see how all of a sudden it got this lowering. But earlier in the day it had just been like these flat bases, like about this high, and then all of a sudden we got this lowering, and then the scud rising, and we saw some dirt on the ground interacting with it, so we knew it went surface based, which was great. Let's see here. I'm trying to make sure that I've got... So doing all this stuff is a little bit resource heavy on your poor computer, so I'm doing multiple things at once, which is the problem for when you want to move faster than I can. So let's see here. That's 6 seconds. I'm looking at the time over here to know. I think that was a jump. Yeah, it was too much of a jump, and I can't remember. I think this is where I did it. So so this is a great one. Total supercell, great structure, and we got the perfect spot, and it came right at us, directly at us, and so we let it get close to hitting us and then race to the east. So you can see it just, it's going to be a tough one to edit because of the brightness and all that, so so stay tuned for that. But you can see now we get from the first frame, looks like I see the frame moved, so that kind of stinks. So you can see my last frame horizon and this one are totally different. So I moved it again. So that's a good thing I just checked because I didn't waste time. So right here is where I actually set it, I think, perfect. So now we'll select to the end. Now my timeline, now my horizon is perfect. So you can kind of see, hey Lila. So you can kind of see here when we were talking about it being surface based, the dust on the ground that's kind of getting pulled up a little bit into this mezzo. So, but that's pretty cool. From this to that on a day we weren't expecting much is pretty great. So we're going to take all this and we're going to call it the Cold Water Supercell. It's a great one. And the rest, you know, we still might use the other ones, but you never know. Can I show you guys a picture of my kids from my last trip? I gotta send this to a couple of people. It was my 3 kids and then their cousins, and we just got to spend a few days together, which was pretty awesome. I have to edit this stuff. Lila, if you're watching, there you go. There's a picture of you and Kaylee. Anyway, I shoot everything on manual, absolutely, for sure. There's other cameras like a Sony or something that if you put it in AV mode, that it actually will smoothly transition stuff for you. But I don't think the Canon metering system is as good, so it's not going to allow you to do that as well. So, so I use the Canon one. So here's another one, so I don't do that. I use manual. Is what I meant to say. Trying to decide if I moved this or not. Yeah, I did. I knew I did. So here's another supercell. This was near what was the name of that town? Oh, Kinsley. So, did I stop it? Or it just changed? I think it just changed. So this one kind of came at us as well. Don't know if I'll use this. Some of the stuff that's weaker structure. I have a lot of good stuff coming up. Or a lot of stuff to use. From the last couple of years, so some of this stuff is not making the cut, but we're going to save it away anyway. Kinsley Soup 11mm. Okay. Yeah, Arto. I do. I look at the. I'm always on top of my time lapses the entire time, and I kind of see where the light meter is when I start, and I try to keep it balanced the whole time. If it starts dropping too dark, then I make like an adjustment, and I try to do it consistently and evenly over the space of the time lapse. Usually it's fine during the day. That doesn't matter. At night, if you do it too fast, you'll actually see it kind of speed up in a second, and I don't really like that. So, but during the day, it's really easy to keep it good. This one is taking a long time to load, probably because there's a lot of stuff going on, but we can kind of start to see some movement in that. This is one I don't know if I care about editing, but I'm going to let it do what it does. So this is Naravisa. This is a freaking great storm. This is one where you actually probably will see it speed up. I'm going to scroll down and find the end of this. This is a great, pretty storm. The light is awesome. The colors are unbelievable. This is one of the favorites of the year. Did I move it here? No. No. Just wrapped around. I know at some point I move it. Yep. Right there. This is great. So I'm going to call this, I don't know if I do the other one, but I know where this was because Naravisa is a great name for a town. And it's a ghost town too, which is wonderful. 0-1 because I might do two of them. 11mm 8K. Can't remember if I have enough frames for the second one. So this one is going to be wonderful. I mean, we've got transition from that sunlight to like getting dark, and that's what you love. Great colors. Oh, there's a little lightning in there. A little lightning. Where is that one? Yeah, right here. Not a good lightning day this day, unfortunately. The only thing that could have made the Imperial Day better would have been lightning bolts. So, and I'm bummed I got a dust spot on that day. Is because my lens kind of fell off, which stinks. So, I knew that was going to happen, and it did. So that one's moving. See if the 614 had anything good. I can't imagine I had 167 frames and had anything worth shooting this day. Oh, this was a great one. I'm wrong. Look at all the lightning that you'll see pop up in here. These bolts are pretty good, so this should be a good time lapse. If I caught a few of them. What's up, bud? Sure, that's fine. You can do it. No, I'm still doing it. Do it for a little bit longer. Let's see here. Trying to see the time code. 43. Lightroom is not the fastest thing in the world, unfortunately. But it works really well. Yeah, Chris, I was seeing a bunch of those noctilinear. Is that how you say it? Okay, I think all of these are gonna work. This was 14. I know that it was east of Garden City. It was near, well, there's no town name. It was right around here. So we will just call it Garden City Lightning. Hey, Jesse. So that's another one. The other thing I haven't really done, I haven't shown you guys, and this one usually slows things down, is, let's see, where have I not done it? I'm excited about these too. I really want to, these Maljamar ones are really cool. I got a lot of stuff. 3 operations in progress. Let's go back here. This one's taking a long time to load, probably because the hard drive is busy doing other stuff. I'm really bad Not bad, but when this is all going on and things get slow, then I need to multitask like crazy. You know, I got to go see what's going on Twitter. See what these people are talking about. This is gonna be good. Maljamar. We got oil rigs pumping here, and this color coming in. That's gonna be cool, as long as I didn't screw it up or whatever. So, pretty interesting looking. Probably just have to. I have to get that stupid drone out. These guys, they were awesome, and I knew it was gonna happen, but that means I have to get it out of like every frame. So this is gonna be. It's gonna be one of those pain in the butts to get rid of. I gotta figure out. Yeah, noctilucent clouds. So you can see the drone flying. This was these guys with me, so I'm gonna have to get rid of it from every frame. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that in Lightroom or if I'm gonna do that in After Effects. I guess I'll find out later. But unfortunately, it flew everywhere. Mew! Thanks a lot. But it's pretty cool looking. That's great. Oh, and he came back. Oh, yay! Drone again. More drone. So. Hey, Jesse, it's all manual. Only manual. Oh, that looks awesome. Oh. As I keep going good, I hung in for a little bit. I always love these, but you have to leave sometimes, and that's great. Oof. So, on the lightning flashing back there. Woo! I am getting excited about that. So the last step that I didn't show you, you can see down here, the file name is just the base file name that No, I don't have a drone. I actually got rid of it, Chris. I had people following me that were droning. So I rename all these, the files themselves, so later in After Effects, it's a lot easier. So I name them the same thing that I have right over here. So Maljamar, right edge. I know it's 50 millimeter 8K. So it's going to rename all these files from, it's going to rename it from what it was, and it's going to change it to that, and then it'll say 0001 all the way to whatever. So the sequence really, really works. Yeah, Chris, drone is too much work for me with doing all this stuff. I sold it, my Phantom Pro, just because I wanted to get some value for it before it was too late and it just sat in the corner for 3 years. So I sold it. These guys follow me are with contracted by National Geographic to shoot some stuff for an upcoming nature documentary coming out in a couple of years. And so that's who was flying the drone. Yeah, Jesse, lightning was a little bit tough. And I got some good bolts on some storms, but it wasn't necessarily the best. Ardo, if I want to adjust exposure on camera, what value do I change first? I don't really understand the question. If I want to change exposure, I would just adjust the shutter speed. So now you can see here at the bottom, now our file name is got a nice name with a good sequence number at the end. So this will load and be really nice in After Effects. So this is another good one. 777 frames of that same storm, but the wide angle version. So I did a 50 millimeter of just the right edge, and then I've got the wide angle. It doesn't look like much. Oh, see, now I gotta stop this. Ugh. So you can see that I adjusted it in the middle of it, so this is not right. I'm gonna have to like change the sequence. So that's when I was organizing. I didn't actually take the time the first time. So this one is cool though, but it goes from far away to structure showing up right here when it's starting to look better, and the colors are really cool. To okay, go away. To it getting closer, and all of a sudden all this structure coming out of it, right? I mean, that's great. Just fantastic. Except for that stinking drone I have to get rid of. There's also something cool in this, and I don't know where it happens, but a lightning bolt strikes that I captured and starts right here. So this will be interesting for you guys, I think. Hey, Skill Killer, you're welcome. So this lightning bolt struck Chick-fil-A Breakfast of Champions, guys. Trying to do too many things here, that's why it's not loading. It's renaming all the images. Here's this guy taking its sweet time. I really don't know that I'm going to use this. But it actually looks really cool back there. You can see that supercell structure in the rain falling. But I just have other ones from this day I'm a little more excited about. Okay. It loaded. So you see this lightning bolt. And as I scroll along, if that's the right one, unless I'm high or something. Yeah, I think that's it. It struck right here, and you're gonna start seeing an orange glow of fire. It's really hard to make out. I can't zoom in anymore in Lightroom, but right here, you see that orange glow. See it get brighter. See that? So it started the lightning started a fire there, and we were like, I wonder if it's an oil well on fire. So you can see it getting a little bit bigger. Right there. You'll never notice it in the time lapse, I'm sure. It'll be too small. I was hoping the 50mm caught it, but I was over too much. But yeah, you can see that glow there and some smoke. So anyway, this is why I shoot with the 50 megapixel and that 11 to 24. You guys can see the detail that's in here, and if I zoom out, you'll see how tiny it is on the full picture. But if I zoom in, the detail is pretty awesome. So this is pretty cool one because it comes right at me, and we have to stop a little bit right there. There's a couple other spots that were really good that I didn't get to stop, so a little bit bummed. Gotta see where I change this. Let's see, boom, right there. I'm gonna delete all these frames because I made an adjustment. What's this one doing? We're getting there. Every now and then I like to see a spike in that blue line on the time lapse because it means I probably caught a lightning bolt in there because that's kind of showing the light. But you can see this little inflow and all that. This is great looking. I may actually use that one, so it's a good thing I'm editing it. And before, in between that right edge and this one, I had the 50 on the wall cloud. Nice dust spot here. That's going to just annoy me. Cool thing about 8K is I can crop it and keep the dust spot out if I don't really want to bother fixing it. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to use that one. And then this is the shelf cloud that we got later. I wish I would have time-lapsed a different spot because it kind of started dying out here. But so I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that I don't know we're going to use. Let's see. Anything good happened on the 14th? So we did that one. This one. We did... Oh, I got one more thing here, I think. I don't think I'm keeping that one. I really don't think I'm going to use any of the rest of this stuff. I used to be way more picky. Not picky, I used to be way more easy. Just shoot everything and then save it. I don't know. Can't decide. I know I'm not going to use those frames, so I can get rid of these. Anyway, this is what I do all day. Although I do different things from time to time, like answering emails, and I probably would be chatting more. And I might play some Call of Duty here in a little bit. I need to play. Telling Brett that we're live streaming. I'll get rid of these two. All right, I was gonna try to go find some days that I was a little more excited about, just before we let's see here. So this is a great day. Actually, my anniversary. Look at this Supercell. Are you kidding me? This is another stop. Look at this thing. This right here is just unbelievable. Just great. There's where we did it. So I'm pretty sure I already know that this was near Milburn. And spins and spins and is bad ass. Hey Damo, I have 2 hard drives, 2 like 4 terabyte hard drives, 2 of them, and I copy everything to one. And then before I go to sleep, I copy everything from those to from that one to the second hard drive. And so I have duplicates. Let's do this real quick. Milburn Supercell. And I also try not to use the memory cards from that day until, you know, I've kind of run out. I've got about, I don't know, 10 of the 128 CF cards, 128 gigabyte CF cards. So like if I use 2 or 3 on one day, I'll put them back in my card case at the back, or like I kind of try to rotate just in case something happened. Like the next day I'm out there and then I realize my hard drive's crashed. I'm like, I still have those cards from a few days ago. But if if that happens, that happens. I don't want it to happen, but I try to do my best to minimize any loss of data. So the only thing else you could do would be to somehow like upload to a cloud, but it's really hard to upload to a cloud on in a hotel room, like a Motel 6. You know, you're just not getting that kind of internet speed. So I'm gonna save these frames into my stills folder, which is usually just Sony stuff. I wish there was a way to. I want to see if I do this. Oh, I can mute it. There we go. Okay, maybe this will stay live then. Hey, Bruno. Well, that sucks to lose your laptop, man. That's not good. Bruno went on a tour with me this year. He's a great guy from Portugal. Yeah. Some time lapses you recognize. Yep. For sure. I haven't even got to really editing all these. This one you were at though. The structure does look really good in there, and then the rain and the hail's coming. Actually, I think this one does turn out really good. I think I was looking at a different one. It's taken a long time to load this though. I don't know why. But the cool thing about this one, at least, is it doesn't look like I made any shutter speed change. Oh, I did at the very end, but who knows if I'll keep those. You can see here the shutter speed. I was at 140th the whole time, except for the last like 10 frames I switched. So great, just great. All right, so we moved that one, and then we got to another spot. I'm looking at the time codes here. Another pretty Supercell, and I can't remember. I'll remember once I go look at a map, the name of the town here. Let's see. We were in Nebraska. Where's Brewster? Grand Island, North Platte, Kearney. So okay, I'm too lazy. Brewster. Oh, it was right, staring me right in the face, right in the middle. So New Helena. So this one is, this is the 19th. So this is this is New Helena. Soup. Sometimes I just say Supercell or soup just to shorten the text here. So go ahead, Bruno. Hopefully I get mine edited and posted before you. I have too much to edit, so these were earlier, these were later on, and then this stuff was earlier. And this was by Brewster, and honestly not sure if I'm going to use this or not. I don't know why I wouldn't, but it might be tough. The light was really harsh, and there's not a lot of contrast there, but just a beautiful spinny deal here. I'm going to let's see here. Where's the? I might. I don't want to hit the play. Sorry, I don't want this to like have some freaky echo, but I want to share it on Twitter real quick. All right. Oh, don't worry. Well, I have a lot of work to do, Bruno. I can't even tell you. So this is a beautiful LP supercell. I mean, look at this like isolated structure in the hail falling. This was actually wild. We had a hailstone hit the ground, and we weren't even sure what it was, but we pretty sure we heard it, and then it took 5 minutes for another hailstorm. I can't say it. Hailstone to drop, which was just crazy. It was like this rogue hailstone hit 5 minutes before the rest, and it was like a golf ball. So, so this is this one. I can't remember. I had to move it at some point. I don't remember what I was doing here. This is wild though with the rain falling. This is probably going to be useful. It's just so dark and contrasty that I have a hard time with this sometimes. And this one will be really interesting too. It's different, but it's kind of the RFD cut where usually a tornado might come out here, and so we had this rainbow form. And I think I got the whole thing. I can't remember. We'll see how this one looks later. But you can see the rain falling here, and then you see a little bit of a rainbow here. Really looks like this is blown out, but if I look at the histogram, it's not blown out. So yeah, it looks okay. If I go here and do a little bit of highlights, it's perfect. A little bit of shadows. So it's gonna be great. So then if I scroll through more, you see the rainbow it gets really intense back here, and the rainbow pops more. Towards the end, it's moving by, and it still didn't blow it out. It's great. We got a nice rainbow here, so this is gonna be really pretty. And there's a second rainbow. I'm not really sure, it's gonna make that movie or not. That's a little bit. I just don't know. We'll have to see. What I really wish would have been able to make the movie would have been this scene if I had something better, but we wanted to get in front of it. But this is wild looking. This is why you need like an 11 millimeter. Look at that rainbow stretching out the other side. The problem is we wanted to get in front of it. We're in the wrong spot. We're in the middle of this road. And the power lines are bad, so we didn't stay here very long because we wanted to get back out in front of this storm. So, so I'm gonna do is, let's see, I look at the time codes. let's see here. I gotta go to the end of this. I'm really hoping. I'm looking at the trees on the left to make sure I didn't shift scenes. I know I shifted scenes at one point. I don't remember where it happened. Okay, must have happened before this. So I'm gonna call this 19 Brewster LP01. So our low precip, and I think I have 2 of them. So I'm gonna move that. So I think I started getting it from far away, and it was sliding to our west. It was crazy. You know, you thought it was going to move. Oh, this is a different one. This one's wild too. I really hope this one's not blown out. It doesn't look like it is. This thing just, I mean, it looks cool. It dies out. It's dying out, which is, you know, kind of sucky, but it really looks like a freaking volcano erupting. So this is a wild one right here. And it did blow out a little bit up there, so we're gonna see if we bring the highlights down. It looks like I can save it. It needs to be a lot warmer. And needs some more purple to get the color right. Yeah. And we'll have contrast and stuff. Look at that. Woo! That really is interesting looking. I mean, I also don't like the highlights because there's a little bit of a halo here. If you can see, if I do this, or maybe it's the shadows that do it. Yeah, I don't know. This is the kind of stuff where I'm gonna edit. When I actually edit stuff, we'll get into a little bit more of just highlights and shadows, because there's other things that we'll be able to do to make it look better than just shadows and highlights. You don't want to necessarily rely on that. So, but this is great. This looks like a volcano erupting. The sucky part is it's on its way out, you know, it's dying. It disappeared like 30 minutes after this. Okay, this one is still plugging along. I mean, it's getting close to the end, but we got more to look at. And, yeah, here, look at that. You see it's got the supercell structure really coming in here, and this hail falling. This is real pretty with the field. There's like a little bit of a lightning strike or something in there. Very cool. Very, very cool. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Well, that's going to be a good one. Let me, let's make sure I've got the, see if the time code is on this. It's still moving file, so it's going to be slow, slow, slow. Is it bad? I'm already had breakfast and I feel like I'm hungry already. That's not good. Brett would be mad at me. So that's not it. Let's see. I think this is the one. Hey Venezuela. Paula, how are you? And thank you for the kind words. So this thing just goes on, and eventually you can see it just will die out. Well, I think we stopped before it was totally dead. It actually looked pretty cool. It was coming right at us, but once we left and turned back 10 minutes later, and it was gone. Like it vanished. It was just incredible. I'm going to call it Dying Tower. I'm going to move that. Hey, Benjamin. I use, let's see here. Well, this is one of the pages, but sometimes I'll use the Storm Prediction Center. It'll kind of show me like what's coming up day to day. So like this is day 2 tomorrow, what they think's going to happen. Day 3, what they think's going to happen. Then there's a day 4 to 8 outlook. And you can kind of read to see what they think might happen. There's something maybe potential this weekend. I don't think I'm going to go out. I really want to be done, but if stuff gets really good, I might. But what I really use is models. Look at the GFS. Look at like 500 millibars. This is a College of DuPage website. I'll look at this to see if there's any good flow coming. So like Thursday, there's actually nice flow over western Nebraska and the Dakotas, um, Wyoming on Friday. Then it kind of dies out. It looks like Saturday. Well, looks like there's maybe some decent flow on Saturday out here in Wyoming. So we will have to. I don't really want to go back out. That's what I'm like hesitating about because I just don't want to. I really don't want to go back out. But if there's something, and then it looks like later on there's some good flow up in Montana again. I just really don't think I'm going to do that. So I'll look at that. I'll look at moisture to see what the dew points are going to be. So like if I was looking at Saturday, for instance, where the flow was in Wyoming, where it looked like there was flow around here, it doesn't look that good because it really, well, actually it says 55 dews. It's not horrible. So if there was something there, we'll look at supercell composite for Saturday. Let's see. Not much like supercell composite around here. It looks really weak. But, where did I see the 500s? So let's see this. Yeah, so if I were to click like a hodograph, and I'm still learning how to look at these the best, but yeah, this turning is awful. This is not a good hodograph. The spread, there's no cape. That's not great. There's not much there. So let's see if an hour 108. If I was maybe more up here in South Dakota. Oh, Brandon, that's awesome. Nick is so kind to that. He told me he did that once where he showed people stuff and I couldn't believe it. So there's some nice spreads here in Cape and a little bit of turning in the lower area, but the wind profile is not the best. Looks like mostly it's going to be like severe hail and stuff like that. So that might not be something I'd come out for. So I was a little more worried about the next couple of days, but here's Friday in South Dakota. Let's see what this one looks like here. Or is that Thursday? Whoa. So this one looks a little bit more typical, better. That's not great, but it's a little bit better wind profile. Some turning in the lower, and some in decent cape. It says weak tornado. So that's Thursday. So I just I want to be done, you guys. So this is Friday. That's really awesome, Brandon. I always thank Nick for that kind of stuff. So this is nice. There's only 13 degree spreads, 2,000 cape. Effective shear. You asked me a question and now I'm looking at stuff, which sucks. 60 shear. 0 to 1 SRH is real bad though. But there's still some turning, so there might be some pretty supercells on Friday out here in eastern Wyoming. I don't want to chase. So, alright, whatever. Alright, this is done. So this one finally is finished. You can see we did a little jump at the end here. So because I did that stupid jump, I've got to do the Holy Grail wizard. So we're going to do keyframes. I do a lens twist where the aperture is not set, so I have to manually do it. We're going to do 2 keyframes. And of course, it's not doing the Holy Grail thing for some reason. I don't know why. Sometimes it does this on me. Yes. I don't know why it's not doing it. Well, that's just great. Well, our time-lapse is acting funky. I don't necessarily need the last few frames, though. Although there's really cool lightning strike there. Look at that. Hard to see. Well, I'll have to come back to that one because it's not working. We'll just look at some beastly structure. We'll let this one load next. We'll save that metadata, and then Beth, if you're watching, thanks for subscribing to Patreon. That was amazing of you. I really, really appreciate it. And I wish you would have been out this year so I could have run into you and said hi. I wish you would have been here on this day. I know you would have liked it. So, all right. So let's see. Drop the exposure, and gonna go to the end of this rainbow. I'm trying to figure out what to call this one. End of rainbow, RFD bow. Maybe call it RFD bow. Look at that double rainbow there at the end. I mean, that's pretty cool. It goes from this to that. Kind of cool. So we're going to call it an RFD bow, because why not? RFD bow, 11mm 8K. And Brandon, thanks for being a fan of my work and all the way from the UK. I don't know if you know Paul Botten at all, but he's another great British guy that I'm good friends with out there who runs tours, and he's very kind as well. This one is loading a lot faster. Oh wait, maybe it's not. It just thinks it is. This is going to be one of my favorites. The sucky part will be there's a dust spot in here thanks to my lens falling off, and that's real frustrating. But what can you do about it? Can't do anything about it. You just got to deal with it. So here's where the storm on this Brewster day was actually starting out. Like, so we had some really cool time lapse of it kind of just getting going, and then as it got closer to us, you know, oh, I moved it. Damn it. All right. Sorry, Lila. If she's watching, she told me not to say a bad word. So, let's see. Right here. Let's see. 18. Hey, Mike. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I should post another video just to YouTube about kind of what I'm doing. But for those of you that are watching, I did start a Patreon page, which the link is in the comments, and I have been debating forever about, you know, kind of doing tutorials for free and doing paid stuff. You know, I do workshops, and down in Tucson, like I have one starting in like 3 weeks, and then another one after that, chasing storms, chasing the monsoon. So I like to put stuff out for free, but at the same time, a lot of people will pay for it, and they want to pay to come along for, you know, tours and stuff. And so it's kind of like, it's a tough debate, I think, for anyone who does this to figure out, do you want to give all your stuff away for free, or do you want to try to, you know, have people support you for it or pay for tutorials and stuff like that. So my kind of goal, my idea is to try to make this especially just for Patreons. This is kind of a trial run on YouTube to see like what kind of response we get, and to also let people know this is what I'm doing. And so if you subscribe over there, I think the Professor Hulk tier, then you'll get all the tutorials. You get to see me working on this next time-lapse film, which is right here. I'll probably be working on that one a little bit. And once I get a lot of these time lapses edited, then we'll be moving on to that. And then we have all summer of editing monsoon photos, editing time lapse sequences as the year goes on. So I think all the way up through like October or November, it'll be worth it. And if you don't want to be a Patreon, you know, until spring, you know, totally welcome to do that. So I'm just trying to get people to kind of want to support me. The problem is, I think if YouTube was like the ad revenue and stuff was greatly profitable, then I would probably just want to just stick to focus completely on YouTube. But they've dropped revenue on things like storm videos and stuff like that. A lot of people have said. My friends, you know, Pecos, if you know Pecos Hank and Daniel Shaw, they all use Patreon for stuff now. Pecos has been doing a lot of stuff over there and kind of making a little special community for his people, which is what I'm trying to do as well. And
And so we're just trying that out. And I feel bad because I don't really want people on YouTube that have subscribed to feel slighted or anything in that regard. Like, I don't want you guys to think, oh, Mike doesn't want to do anything for us because it doesn't make enough money. But at the same time, oops, I didn't mean an asterisk. But at the same time, I do want to, I need to support my family and stuff with this stuff. So I think the Patreon page is pretty cool. There's a lot of, I do a lot of other stuff over there too, not just this. I'll post where I'm targeting and sneak peeks at things and giveaways and announce workshops and stuff before anybody else. So I think it's a real good thing. But at the same time, it's hard to, ask people to spend money every month to support you. So I'm really grateful to all the people that do already. And, right now we have 25 people watching. I know if I do this over on Patreon page starting next week, I might only have 2 or 3 or 4 people watching, which means a little bit less interaction. I love all the comments and stuff. So that's the part that kind of, that's the part I struggle with because I love this. I love interacting, I like to, I hate to like bring up video games, but I'm a real big, I play Call of Duty a lot, and I've been watching these gamers, and they're streaming, and they've got, thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of followers, and when they're on streaming, they have so many people, talking to them, and I know that this is not the same as video games, so we're not going to be doing, we're not going to be having that kind of people watching, or that many people watching, but at the same time, I do like that, it's kind of fun for them to interact with the same people on a daily basis, so, so the Patreon page is kind of like, at least if I have a small community of a couple hundred people supporting me, that helps me with, live streaming. I'm going to be doing live streaming of storm chases all summer through there as well. So I really do think it'll be interesting and worthwhile for people. And I appreciate that, Mike. I do share a lot of stuff, and I will still be posting videos here. And I think, I think the goal might be to do some of this stuff and tutorials on the Patreon page first, and then like 3 or 4 months later, post them on YouTube anyway. So, Tyler, if you're talking about LR Time-lapse, this one, I think the Pro license is about $300 or so. Oh my God, this is freaking great right here. I do wish I had been a little bit more northeast of the storm, like basically out over here, but this is going to be really gnarly when it gets closer to the frame here. This is great. I could have aimed a little more left, but I knew it was moving to my right. So, yeah, Chris, you're right. It does take a while, so I'm trying to make it a long-term thing and not get too impatient with it. So I absolutely agree there. I do have a tendency to be, I'd have a tendency to get impatient on stuff. So. You are absolutely right. I'm going to save all... Well, I'm not going to save these. These are garbage. I'm going to save a lot of these other images, though, for stills, June 19th. Copy them over there. Where were we? Bring it back. Bring it back. So that's a good day. I mean, so far we've got, about 6 time-lapse clips. And I named this one wrong. Man. Can't type today. I think this one is let's see, I did that one wrong too. This one should have been 02 8K. Yeah, Tyler, I know. I try to make them, I try to make it yeah, it's tough, I know that there's some people have... I can rearrange the tiers a little bit. I was hoping $10 a month wouldn't be too much for people getting, tutorials and stuff all the time. It's a little bit... it's kind of tough when you try to value what you do in your work and go... because I had someone go, hey, if you were $1 a month, I would do it. And I'm like, well, $1 a month, yeah, that'd be great. But then... so many people could sign up and kind of, So anyway, I'm not sure if I should drop it to more like a $5 deal. But at least at the time being, it is what it is. So I'm excited about this guy right there. This is cool. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really stoked for this. This time lapse is great. This one is just, I mean, look at that rotation. I mean, this is gonna be fantastic. That one's good. I think that's probably all I'm gonna do from this day. I don't really think. Yeah, this stuff is. I think I'm not gonna save. I'm trying to be a lot better at just getting rid of stuff now and not worry about it later, because I just end up with just files sitting everywhere. You know, I try really hard to clean up and get rid of these. Get rid of these. Actually, let's not get rid of those. Let's put them over into our stills. All right. Where were we? Hide these. So this day actually turned out nice. I don't really like everything that came at the beginning. Not really. Although this one, this one actually might not be too bad. This was east of Denver by Last Chance. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. You know. Oh, whoa! What was that? Oh, that's nice. I thought it looked better than that, but we did get a lightning bolt with some weak supercell structure in there. This is actually probably going to be a nice one. It'll look cool. We'll see if we will end up using it later. But so, well, I appreciate that, Mike. I know, like, you know, it's just tough because $10 seems really, you know, for a lot of people it might not seem like much, and for other people that are wanting to learn and they're starting out and they're in college, then it's, you know, it is a lot. So I totally understand both sides of it. For me, I feel like $10 is, you know, it seems like a pretty good deal, you know. You know, but you know, that's the way it goes. So I really like this one. I like that one, looks pretty cool, and I can't remember if there's another one that's interesting here. This one got really dark. I don't know. I think it'll be salvageable. I really like this one. This one is just gorgeous lights, and we've got I'll start right around here, and we've got this beautiful wheat field. I just pray it's in focus. I know it's in focus because I already posted a photo. I actually support, you know, I support people too at the same time. I'm supporting Pecos. I'm supporting, like my buddy Spiros. He's not my buddy, but he's on, he's a gamer, and I support a couple of them because I really like watching these guys. See Spiros right now, he's streaming live, playing Blackout.
This summer,
and I like to watch these guys. It's really entertaining for me to watch these guys during the day while I'm editing and stuff. I like to. He's a really nice guy. I've been watching him for a while. And he's kind. He tries to have a positive attitude. He doesn't do a lot of cursing and stuff like Dr. Disrespect and these other gamers do. So he's a real nice guy, and he's very supportive of his community and all that. So he's someone I give money to because it's really it's fun to support these people. So I try to do that at the same time. So this one I really, really like. So this wheat field, the colors and stuff, I mean, this is going to be cool. And then it kind of goes by and it gets just really gnarly looking. And then you get the back side of the rain. And we hung in here just a smidge long. Looks like I got a raindrop on the bottom, so that kind of sucks, but that's okay. I might not be able to. We'll see what we do here. So this was 20, and if I recall, we were it was near this. So man, that's a tough area because there's just no city there. I guess I'll call it a Dahlia. Maybe I'll call it Kirk. Nah, Dahlia's closer. Little Dahlia. Storm. I don't know if it's Supercell. Look like a Supercell, but call it Storm. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate that. Chickens and bunnies on a farm, Chris. What do you... Oh, really? You subscribe to Twitch where they just show chickens and bunnies on a farm? That's just fantastic. It's amazing what people will do. Dominic, I tried just not to shoot where the rain's hitting my lens. It's really tough sometimes. A lot of these supercells, though, the winds are at your back. When you're looking at a supercell, the inflow is keeping the rain off your lens, so that's kind of a real nice bonus of chasing one of these kind of storms. In Arizona, it's tougher because in Arizona, usually all you have is outflow winds everywhere. And so sometimes the rain will just hit your lens and it sucks. And so you can't shoot it. I don't like raindrops on my time lapses unless it's so awesome that it doesn't matter. So this one's almost done. I really like that one, and there's looks like I have a couple more cards here to go through. This was actually turned out to be a really good day, even though it wasn't necessarily appearing like it would be so. But at the end, that's the thing about these storms. If you hang in, there, usually the end of the day, the low-level jet kicks in and things just get a little bit better. So I think this was another Aldalia storm. And then we actually got lightning. See, this one sucks because I do. So here we got... we'll have to see here. I only got 300 frames, so it looks good here. But at the end, this is where you'll see that I hate. I've got raindrops all over here. And so, we may use it, but we may have to... If I scroll through this, we'll have to see. So the rain stops around... So I don't see the... Let's see, the first raindrop hits right there. So right up to there, it's not too bad. So I'll take this and get rid of them. I'm just gonna delete it so I don't have to worry about it. Less editing time, less rendering time. Just gonna dump it. Isaac, it's not, when you're doing time lapse, you're not really shooting at a frames per second because that would, there's another one here too. We'll see. You're not shooting at a frames per second, time lapse, you're rendering at a frames per second. And so I render out at 30 frames a second for all this stuff. When you're shooting, you're shooting, at like once every second, once every 2 seconds, every 3 seconds, etc. So time lapse is not really, you're not shooting at a frames per second, if that makes sense. But you definitely want to shoot fast on these storms. Like a lot of these I'm just shooting every second because I want to get as many frames as possible. Dahlia, outflow, I don't know. Outflow, since it's rain, I'm just naming it something different. Tyler. Hey, Relax Sounds. This will be on my Patreon page, archived there. So, after it's done here, it'll get removed from YouTube, but you can, if you do become a patron, you can watch it there. Again, I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way it's going to be. Tyler, this Imperial Day Imperial Day is a real good day. The structure and stuff was unbelievable. Look at this. The amount of time lapses I got it was unreal. So that's definitely a favorite day. But I also have early on in the season, and I think a lot of people forget about it, but this day, May 4th, Southeast New Mexico. This time lapse here I haven't edited yet. I've been saving it because I think I'm gonna do a screencast tutorial on it. This might be my favorite time lapse of the year because there was hardly anyone on it, and the thing is a structured beast. I mean, look at you'll see what it looks like here at the end, and it basically comes right at me. So This is, I mean, to get this kind of structure, I've been dreaming about getting this kind of structure for a while. So, if you see where I am here, I am basically directly east of the storm, and it's sliding to my left. So at one point, I'm ending up on the northeast side of it, which is the notch. So I'm looking right into this, which is great. Now this storm right here, I love it so much, but I'm almost on, I would say, east-southeast side of it. So if I had been more northeast, I'd be looking into this notch area right up here from a different angle, and it would have looked more like this. Brad Hannon has a really good view into the notch, and so even though like I really love this, I mean, look at this. This is freaking great, right? And there's actually right there, tornado I think drops, so I have it in a time lapse right here. It's very, very brief. I have it. Let's see here in my gallery, I think. So you guys can see it. Ooh, don't look at that. That's awful. Don't look at that. That's early on. Well, I don't have it here. Not sure where it is. Trying to find. Oh, here it is. This is it. So here is here's a still shot with the Sony, and right in there, basically what looks like a tornado on the ground in the right spot. So that's what you also see right here. The sucky part about this is there's a dust spot right here, and I'm going to cry about that, and I'm going to complain and be real upset until I make it perfect. So that's going to really be tough for me. It's in a really hard area. It's going to, I don't think it'll be too bad, but yeah, I think that's definitely a little tornado right in there. You can see it. You can see it spinning a little bit. That's pretty cool. So that's a good one. Now, anyway, I'm just kind of saying, if I had been in a different area, I would have for this guy. Woo! So for this one, if I had been in a different area, it would have looked a little bit more like this. So, but I did good on this one because I aimed in the right spot. I kept it right, and I knew it was going to move to my left. And so this one, I mean, this is just amazing because you can see it. It's probably can't see it great on this because I can't even see it that great. But it is just spinning. And once I actually edit it with colors and all that kind of stuff, the way it looked, it's going to be wonderful. So that and the Imperial Day were my favorites, but the other one is the Tahoka Day. I'm going to show you guys this, which, you know, this is a real sneak peek, but is this it? Here's well, it's not going to show that great because I haven't rendered it all the way, but here's this is test got last year, and then here's the Tahoka one. That didn't look that good. I haven't rendered it, rendered the preview on this because I just did it. So let me save this and let's see here. It could take a little bit to render all this. Yeah, Tahoka's amazing, and one of the scenes I really like that I don't think a lot of people not necessarily got was this one. This is towards the end of the day. I mean, look at this supercell structure right here. I mean, this is probably the biggest, beastliest supercell I saw all year besides the Imperial one. And I have the time lapse of it, and it just, all this dirt's getting sucked in, the whole thing's spinning. It's great. I also really like this original, or the beginning of it by Lubbock, or south of Lubbock. This thing wrapped up and was really, really cool. Lots of good bolts on this storm. This was May 5th, so if I go to, let's see here, the lightning strikes I got while it was organizing is just incredible. Let's see here. Oh, I met with some farmers early on. That should not be in here. That's May 4th. At the TIFF? Oh, that's JPEG. That's like one of my favorite shots of the year, probably. So if I select, let's see here, select all the 4 stars, because I think I did this already. Select rating. My computer's starting to get really angry at me for all the stuff I'm doing. So this was the Tahoka day, but early on, south of Lubbock, and this was my lightning trigger and all the bolts that were on the storm while it was organizing are unbelievable. They were just like, it was starting to get like kind of scary, and you can see it starting to really wrap up in here in the rainfall. And so this was wonderful. The CGs were just absolutely out of control. Like every 5 seconds there was good ones. I mean, look at this one. It's just, they're getting close. Look at that. I haven't edited any of these photos. So, Obsidian, thank you. Oh, actually, a lightning strike in there. And there's a tornado that I shot. So I have another favorite photo in here that I haven't posted yet either. I have some good stuff. This is one of my favorite days because the motion and stuff is great. Look at the lightning in there. There's a tornado in there. You can't see it right here, but there's a tornado in there. Let's see here. There's a tornado right there. You can make the outline up. These all are the tornado. But this one I'm gonna post. This is one. I'll do some still editing too. But this is one I haven't posted yet. Of load, baby. So this is so the tornado's right in here. You can kind of make it out a little bit. But this strikes a wind turbine. It's like, I think I got 3 or 4 bolts. You can see where there's faint outlines of wind turbines right here, and this bolt just stopped. So it's definitely hitting a turbine. And here's a tornado back there. Anyway, and this is another one that I love, where you can clear, the tornado cleared the dust. I haven't posted this one yet either, because it's one of my favorites, but I don't know why I did that, because that's weird. It's a TIFF. Whoa. Oh, I'm on the wrong file. That's why. So, yeah, my computer is, I got too much going on, so, but you can see it. You can see the tornado right in there with the lightning and stuff. Just bonkers. Hey, Beth, what camera do you use? Because it depends. If you, I use the 5D line. If you use CF cards, you shouldn't have a problem. If you use the SD slot, then you're going to have problems. The SD slot cannot handle a frame every second. So you need to use CF cards on the 5D. That's a big problem. So hey Brennan, a lot of people, these guys that came with me from Australia swear by the Pluto trigger and they love it, but I use the Lightning Trigger 4, and I have a tutorial about it on YouTube somewhere. Let's see here. Oh, that's me. Hey, Little Storm. If you go to my videos, I have here. Oh no, it's way down here. From a couple. Here's from 2 years ago. Using lightning sensors. This one. Hey, you're welcome, Beth. This talks about the Lightning Trigger 4 and how I use it and all that. Oh yeah. 5D Mark II, you really need. Oh, so you have to use an SD for the 60. Yeah, that sucks. Honestly, Beth, that's why I didn't go. That's why I didn't get one of the many reasons, but the Sony A7R II early on, all it had was an SD slot and it couldn't do a frame a second because that was all it could do. I'm like, well, that's not good enough for me. So that's one reason I didn't even go to Sony the first time. The second time, you can do a shot every second, but you need expensive SD cards that are fast. Also, dust spots are a major problem, so I use the Sony for stills. The Sony for stills It's freaking great. I enjoyed it. It's great files. I will. Let me see if this one's in here. All right, this one's crazy. What was the day? The day we blew out our window. That was a wild day. Was that 21? Yeah. Let me show you guys this. All right. Here's the Sony. This will blow your mind because it kind of blew my. John, that's crazy, man. Vietnam. Thank you, dude. Oh, that's insane. So, here's the base 15-second exposure ISO 100 with the Sony, and this is what it looked like, and then this is what I was able to do with it. And I've never been able to do anything like this with a Canon. It's not perfect, but if you look at the level of noise, is not bad for the fact that I went plus. I mean, the most I've ever done on a Canon is like 1.5, 2.5 without having any problems, or with before I get lots of noise and it's really, really messed up. I'm able to go 4.8 plus exposure on this, and the noise is really not that bad. I could have done more because on the road, I can do some noise reduction here, and it gets even better, and some sharpening, and honestly, it's not that bad. For a 4.8 on the exposure there is just ridiculous. I don't even need to go that bright, so I probably could have done this. And anyway, so that's why the Sony files are out of control good, because my Canon could not handle that at all. So pretty unreal, all this detail here when this thing looked like that. I mean, there's nothing here. It's black. It's unbelievable. Just this. So, and the reason my ISO was so low is I didn't want. There were some big CGs coming out of this thing. I did not want to blow it out, you know. So that's why it was so low. And anyway, it's wild. These cameras. What cameras can do these days. I just use a Sony A7R III just for stills, Kim, not time-lapse. So that's what I was just showing. Was that. So and this was with the Sony too. So I love the Sony for, I mean, with this other camera or the 14 to 24, it's really sharp. I mean, this is great. Those trees out there are really sharp. It does some good stuff. I'll show you guys one more pain in the butt. No, this is when you cry when you have a great bolt and you weren't wide enough. Look at that. Oh. Anyway, so this one looks like it's kind of done here. We've gone through LR time-lapse and gnarly storm, little tornado. Let's see. If we hit play, it's kind of cool to see it this way. I think I hear a kid crying. I'm gonna check real quick to see if the babysitter came. Oh, Britt did come. So, so now I gotta do some keyframes. I'm gonna make it F8 for Holy Grail Wizard. Save. Tyler, I'm using Canon 5 DSRs for time-lapsing. So, alright, so here's our Imperial Storm. So we're going to import all the metadata changes we just did. I really don't know why the Holy Grail thing wasn't working on the other one. Yeah, John, that was really interesting to me, was how many people, you know, need this stuff for movies and stuff because they can't actually get the effects right with computer animation, that they actually want real storms, real stuff, you know.
All right, so we're gonna work on this one real quick, and everything always looks really blue when I start because I just do 5,000 white balance. I gotta bring this stuff up to get the color looking a little bit better. Man, it's really blue. I don't know what the deal is with this storm. It was definitely not that blue. All right, looking a little better. Bring up the Kelvin. Woo, it looks good. So one thing that LR Time-lapse does is it drops these radial filters in here that you can use and adjust. So instead of just using shadows and highlights to do everything, which gives you lots of bad artifacts with like haloing and stuff, I can just use this and drop the exposure in this specific area. Bring it down a little bit. Yeah. Ooh, you know what I love about this? I love this. This is the sign that the updraft is exploding upward and is intense right there. I love that. That is great. And maybe we might use this last one. I'm not sure about this. This is just me playing around. But a little bit of foreground brightening to keep it from having to use shadows too much. Just a little, just a tad. Now I look at my histogram. I think it looks really, really balanced. There's some problems with where's the shadow? Oh, it's in the corners probably. Hey John, no, you can distract me, man. The whole point of this is for you to ask questions. I'm usually doing a shot every second when it's on really big storms like this. Like this is fast moving. I got to shoot every second. But other times every 2 seconds, whatever. You know, it just depends. This is just, I love that lens, the 11-24 with the Canon. I mean, you can see how sharp this stuff is down there, and it's tiny. So, all right, so that's kind of frame one. I think it's good. I'm gonna try to see if the white balance, if I bring it up, whatever. Let's see, one more. We'll see how that looks. Now I'm going to sync all my frames down here, so you can see in the bottom left that these are all our keyframes we picked. So this one's a little bit darker, and so I can also go up and adjust our little radio filter and make it a tad brighter. Doesn't need to be so low. And then I'm going to increase my exposure a little bit, which is perfect. Oops, and then what I like to do is take the one I adjusted and sync the rest of them. So the LR Time-lapse has its own little script to sync everything that it wants you to sync, and because if you did sync all, you'd be in trouble. So that actually looks really good. Oh my god, just miserable. This right there. Oh. What a pain in my butt. That is just frustrating. I tell you right now. If you guys watch more live streams later, me having to edit that is gonna cause me grief and really, really frustrating. So the reason that happened is because I had no dust spots earlier on in the day, but I have to do this lens twist thing with Canon. You'll see that there's these black corners. So I do a little lens twist where I lock the aperture, twist it off a little bit, so that the aperture is locked. It won't open and close because that causes flicker. And so the problem was I was running and gunning, and when I got it pulled the camera out at one point, the lens had twisted so far that when I picked it up, the lens twisted off and fell on the ground. So it allowed one nasty dust spot to get in there. And yeah, that sucks. So in the wrong spot, dust spot could have been up in the corners, been easier to get rid of, but no, it decides to be in the center of the frame. And I swear to God, I had Tescott Tornado last year with a big old dust spot on it, and it's always the good days that this happens. So, but regardless, it looks really good. One thing I don't love is how bright it is up here, but not much I can do about it. This is great though. Really, really nice. Oops, I gotta save this one too. For weather apps, I use radar scope, just to know where the storms are. If you're out with your kids and it gets dangerous, you know, I used to leave my daughter in the car, but the heck, isn't there adjustment on the exposure here? Weird. Something didn't take. Must not have. All right. Reload. There we go. Now I've got my adjustments. Yeah, if you're chasing with your kids, you know, you just gotta keep them safe. And if there's lightning and stuff around, then you can leave them in the car. I take my kids out in it because, I mean, if it's really close, I make them go inside the car. I won't. They like to get on the roof of my car, and if lightning's close, I won't let them do that. But you know, it's kind of tough. So here we got our kind of this is our before, and then this is our after editing it. You can kind of tell, you know, this color is wrong. This is not how blue it was. I don't know how it shows up on YouTube, but it definitely wasn't that blue. So you can kind of tell by my editing, I'm not really doing much to these other than fixing the color and adding contrast. You know, so I'm not really faking stuff, because sometimes, you know, people will ask me if, like, are you faking all the colors? Are you doing anything to manipulate all that? I'm like, no. I mean, I add contrast like a normal person would. Oh my god, where's the Nara Visa one? I mean, this one's gonna be so tough because adding contrast to this is just gonna make it, I mean, like, it's gonna make it awesome, of course. But sometimes you almost have to tone it down. Mike, you can have LR Time-lapse fix the flicker, but guess what? That's an extra step you have to do, and sometimes it's not perfect, so the best thing is just to not get any flicker to begin with. And so I never want flicker. I never want to have to fix it ever. And so it's really, really frustrating to deal with later. Just like dust spots, you know. I mean, you can generally get it fixed, but I've had flicker and time lapses before, and they just don't get, you know, it just doesn't get perfect. So I'm gonna go back to Hollyoak real quick and see if I can do the Holy Grail this time. A mount on my car door that this could be working. Oh, yeah, you could put a like a tripod mount or something on your car where you can sit in the car and shoot out the window and not worry about lightning and stuff. Nikon can't do the lens twist that I know of. I believe that it's not something it can do. But some of the newer Nikons, I swear I heard something about if you do silent shooting or something with it, that the aperture does get locked open. But again, I don't know for sure if that's true. All right, so look, now we got our little Holy Grail wizard decided to show up and work for us. So we will do that. I should tell Gunther there's a little bug, but I'm sure it's not a big deal. So where were we? So this one, read it. So this is what I have to do to make one of these films, and we're just starting with the basics right here. And I've got all this stuff to edit still, and we still have a bunch of stuff here that we still are organizing. So I don't do bulb ramping. I just automatically adjust the shutter speed myself, and that's what like right here where you see this jump. That's what LR Time-lapse can fix and ramp out, so it looks real nice. Storms are too fast. Storms are too fast most of the time to do anything like bulb ramping. Even like dollies and sliders, you can, but a lot of times you're wasting so much time on technical stuff that you're missing the storm. And
And I'm all about for me, like dollies and ramps are pointless because I find wide open areas like this. There's no reason to have a dolly slide over a field where there's nothing interesting, And the same time with bulb ramping, I don't need to because I adjust it on the fly. Because a lot of times I'm only sitting at a place for 6 minutes, 10 minutes, and it's just not. It's a lot to do like a bulb ramp. You might have to program that thing, before you start using it. So. It takes a little bit of time, and I don't like to do it. Okay, so that one is done. So we're doing this one now. Oh yeah, Gunther does probably speak slowly. I haven't watched all his tutorials or most of them, so yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's the time lapse of that big one on the Tahoka day. And that's just a beast. And as these low clouds come in and obscure it, it kind of, there's all kinds of stuff going on down at the bottom too. I kept thinking like one of these was a tornado, like right there on the left. Spinning right here on the ground. It could have been a brief little tornado. Lots of spin ups on the dust, but probably not. Yeah, LR time-lapse is the best. There's literally nothing else, There's nothing else out there like it. It's the only program. The guy hopefully he's making tens and thousands of dollars because it's just wonderful. This is the day of that Denver City structure I was telling you about, the corkscrew. This is where I had to drag myself away from scenes like this to get into the notch, because this thing was just amazing. Look at that. Let's see, this is the same day in the notch, Let's see, keyframes. Tyler, I found the music on the music bed. I'm a music bed ambassador, and so I get to, if I kind of try to advertise their stuff, and in turn I get to use the music. So it's a good deal, and it has great music. The hard part for me is I feel like I've used a lot of it at this point, and I'm running out of good tracks, but I'm real excited about the music for this year. God, I keep thinking it's like the foreground's off. At night I'm shooting constantly, non-stop, continuous shooting is what I was trying to say. I hate how blown out it is there, but there's nothing I can do about it. This was a very, I'm going to try to bring that down a little bit. This was a very blue storm, so I'm trying not to, freak out too much if it's a little too blue. Let's sync. So what I really like about the track that I'm using, you can see here, there's 2 tracks here. These are 2 separate songs, okay? And they're both by a guy named Luke Atencio. I think that's how you say his name. But a lot of his songs, will have a similar vibe. So this one starts off with a really, really good, haunting sound. And again, some of the stuff I'm showing you is this is not gonna be how it. I don't know if I'm gonna use this clip to start, but you can hear it's got some. So I really like that haunting sound, and then here I'm gonna blend it in with the other song, and it's really hard to hear the difference. So right there are 2 totally different songs, and I listened to it and I'm like, you know what? It sounds like it was one song that just changed
tempo and rhythm and all that. So I was pretty excited because I couldn't find one song that worked, but I really like this haunting opening right here. I mean, I'm just loving this. So I really love that slow hauntiness, and then when you get here, this is a little bit faster. And then it gets, and this is one of my favorite clips of the year. Actually, watch this. I love this right here. How this upward motion and the hail just. So I'll show you the Tohoka one because it actually is rendered now. But this is Tohoka, the next one. Really quick, but it was pretty wild. And some of these other ones are Tohoka. This is Tohoka too. You can see there's the tornadoes in here. And right in there. And that's McCook. If you look right here, the tornado comes right out of all this. Right there. I'm pretty stoked about that. So, anyway, I like the music. It's pretty dramatic and it's pretty cool. So, it took me a long time to find it. I'm pretty happy. Boop! I did not sync, or did I? I did sync. Why is it? Okay, here we go. This really got blown out, unfortunately. It's so green, but I swear to God, the green was green. This is like really tough for me because I try to not fake the colors, but this was green as crap. I'm trying to offset it a little bit. So, oh good. Hello, Dustspot. Miserableness, just absolute miserableness. Alright, well, that one's done. We're going to write it back and balance everything out. Oh yeah, unfortunately May 17th we got McCook and that was about it. We didn't, we were in a van and could not get on dirt roads to get to the other ones that happened, so it's depressing. Alright, that one's done. So the other good one, the other most amazing one, I really should save one of these for a tutorial, but this is the next Imperial one. So this one, we'll start loading that one. I just got to get all these edited. It's time. So this one's done. The other one I'm going to do a tutorial on, the Tohoka one that I haven't even edited yet, is the wide angle view of it is just awesome. I think so. But this is the wide angle view of it spinning out there and should be pretty cool. I was hoping, I think I didn't know, I was trying to get the structure and everything, wasn't sure exactly where it was gonna go, but that's one I'm gonna do a tutorial on as well. This is a beast. Next Imperial one. This is stinking great. So, what were we just on?
Yeah, 2019 was a good. Oh, John, yeah, you gotta leave your balcony, man. I'm telling you, it takes a lot of work to get all this stuff, and the sad part is I really had a good year, and then I missed one day, the Goodland Day on like June 8th, where I was home for a couple days, and I missed the one day of the year that probably would have been top 3 for me. All the structure stuff I saw. If I had gotten that, then I wouldn't even know what to do with myself with all the footage I got. Like it would have been too much. But that's okay. It's the way it goes, you know. Man, I just want to delete some stuff. Oh, so what's the other one here that we were working on? Adalia. So this one, oh, there's another one here. Yeah, there weren't very many down days. I'm for sure. These are all stills. I wish this had been a time lapse, but the lightning finally got awesome as the storm was dying out. It was just great. Bolts everywhere. I actually might be able to make a time lapse out of that. Someone fly me to Jupiter, I'll do it. Oh, that's a bummer. That's too far off the frame. That's sad. Look at that. That's a great bolt, too. Well, can't get them off. Let me see here. Oh, I guess that's not the day. Oh, I did get a couple of these with the 50 though. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I think I did get that one. This one I'll probably crop like, I don't know. I was hoping to get it hitting that tower. You can't. I keep these at. This is f8 ISO 100, so you're not really gonna blow it out too much unless it's absolutely, out of control lightning. It's when it's really night. It's night when it's dark out and you're trying to. Look at that. That's ridiculous. When you're exposing for ambient light at night, it's when it gets tough because you. You want to you might want your ISO cranked up so you can really see the clouds and stuff. That's not too bad. It looks a little soft, but that's okay. That's pretty. I really like that. I like how the foreground's kind of fuzzy too from the wheat blowing. Yeah, well, that's the problem at night, and that's why I showed you I showed the one shot earlier where I really had to brighten it up. That's the sucky part. So you have to hope for a bolt to really brighten it up. Lighting at night is not the easiest, so sucks. I'm not gonna. Sometimes you get a great lightning strike at night and there's no ambient light, and you're just like, this is pointless. I'm just gonna delete it. Well, at least that's what I do. This is all stuff my camera was shooting when I was not paying attention. What's the other good day we had where we blew out the window? It must have been this day. Yeah, this is this day. So this day turned out pretty cool after a little bit, and I wasn't. It seemed like it was done, and then we got some really cool scenes towards the end of the day. Yeah, let's see. Was this part of it? Yeah. Yeah, Randy, that's the other side. You take a long exposure to get ambient light, you end up with like 3 or 4 bolts, and then you got ghosting in your clouds and stuff, which is another problem. Whoa, that's the one I want to edit. I'll finish this. So this was, oh, this is pretty. Man, the colors are good. This is a great day. And you get like a surprise storm. So where was I for this? That was, I think it was Arapahoe. Actually, it was probably First View. I don't know. I'm gonna say First View soup. Yeah, ND filters can help a little bit, but if they're too dark, then you're not gonna see the lightning that well. That's kind of, it has to still penetrate it, you know. You have to, Ario, I can't say it, Iro. You have to have a really good video camera that doesn't do, it doesn't do rolling shutter stuff, you know. If you have rolling shutter, then you've got the weird half frame with lightning and the half not. So you have to have a really good 4K camera that's doing like oh man, I forget the name of it. It's not roll. It's other thing besides rolling shutter. I forget what they call it. Arrow. That makes sense, dude. I'm dumb. So, yeah. I'm gonna wait to do this one too. CCD. So sometimes it can work good, but the problem is just video. Unless you're shooting in a really great raw format, you can't do a lot of editing with it as you can with a still. So, still raw files are still gonna be your best bet. What's the time? So this is another good one. Pretty nasty underneath this storm. Right after this, we lost my window when we went to a gas station. Hopefully it's not too blown out. This was right here. I'm gonna call it Sharon Springs. Oh, that's a good tip, Jesse. Yeah, I don't do a lot of videos, so I don't know that. No, I don't think it's front curtain. Let me see if I can. Global shutter. It's called a global shutter. Rolling shutter is not inherent to CMOS sensors. Most CMOS sensors use rolling shutters. In contrast, the global shutter is a technical term referring to sensors that can scan the entire area of the image simultaneously. So you definitely want, if you have a 4K camera that does global, a global shutter, then you can take stills from it, or then your lighting is probably going to be okay. I definitely don't worry about wearing it out because this is what I got to do. I've had them replaced for a couple $100, so you know, it's business expense. It's like getting oil change or replacing the tires on your car. You got to do it. Kiowa, that's where we were. Kiowa. 2-1 Kiowa Supercell. This was tornado warning. That's good, Jesse. Yeah, Hank is the best at video stuff, man. I'm glad you're watching that. I wish I could have shot this one longer, but the rain was everywhere. Depressing. Would have liked to have caught a bolt in here too. I didn't. All right, homies. I might shut this down and. Yeah, Hank is the best. I got to see him a couple times this year, 2 or 3 times, and I was really glad I was able to run into him. He's one of my favorites. Let's see, how's this one look? This is a beast. Look at that. Oh, man. This is going to be a good one. I still wish I had been over on the notch vault area, but this is still real cool. It's great. 1 a.m. John, go to bed. You got to teach tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna. I think I'll stop the stream and I'll probably do this again on Thursday. Maybe another free stream. And then try to start pushing over for Patreon. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to, keep watching, you want to watch this again or whatever, sign up for the Patreon page and you'll be able to watch this anytime. All right, Jesse, I'll check it out when I get a second. So I'm probably going to edit a bunch of these, but I'll save some for Thursday. To show a little bit more what I'm doing, so and then maybe edit a still image of something. I need to post something. I'm so focused on the time-lapse stuff that I really am not even caring about stills right now. It's crazy. This is a beast. Look at this, man alive. It's just a beast. This is freaking great. I mean. Wow. 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 That's my Australian tour guest. Wow. Wow. Just wow. A monster. Just a monster. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, what are you doing here?
I just brought the car.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm going to come out in a second. Can you wait for me? I'm doing a live thing. All right, guys. I will. I'll come back on Thursday. So, thanks for watching.